So this first product is not actually a formula. It's our ashwagandha, which is ashwagandha is the leading tonic herb from India, from the Ayurvedic tradition. Ayurveda is a centuries old or even millennial old tradition from India, the traditional herbal medicine of India. So a tonic is for those weakened individuals who require a tonic, so something to give them energy. And this was especially suited for people who tend to be nervous or anxious or have insomnia, as opposed to other types of tonics. So you'll see the most probably well-known tonic in herbal medicine is ginseng or Chinese ginseng. Chinese ginseng is definitely a good tonic, but as opposed to ashwagandha, it tends to cause a greater degree of, you get a bit more jittery, almost like coffee-like hyper sorts of effects. It's not really good for people who have a tendency to anxiety and nervousness. And you'll see when you take this capsule, as I do, because I'm a big fan of the ashwagandha, you do have definitely a mellow, a sense of, it gives you a more mellow feeling. Even though it does improve energy level, and it's also been proven to show that to increase testosterone production in men. And this, of course, it causes an improvement of libido, sexual function, and the same has actually been studied and shown to occur in women. So even though it increases testosterone levels in men, it's actually been proven in clinical trials to improve sexual function in women as well. So ashwagandha promotes general strength and vitality. It's considered what's called a rasayana in Ayurveda. Rasayanas are those herbs that improve longevity, improve vigor, strength, memory, and vitality. So it decreases stress, improves quality of life. See, these are some of the effects that this herb have been proven in clinical trials. Improves sexual function in men and women, increases immunity, improves cardiorespiratory endurance. In other words, it helps you be able to train harder for athletes, or gives people the sort of motivation they need to begin training if they are, not athletic. Alleviates fatigue and weakness, and has also been considered to be an adaptogen. And adaptogens are those herbs that help us adapt to stress. It's a Russian term. It was coined by the Russians in the 60s, and the Russians came up with this term as something that helps us adapt to stress. So what they did was they found that Eleutherococcus was the Russian herb that has sort of equivalent effects as ashwagandha. And Eleuthero they used extensively in studies in Russia to see what effects it would have in workers. They found it decreased time away from work. People were less sick, improved work capacity, improved mood, lessened chronic disease, etc. So adaptogens and ashwagandha is in the same class as Eleuthero. Ashwagandha also has significant anti-inflammatory properties. It can be used for people who have chronic type inflammation of any type, but arthritis problems, for example. Chronic inflammation underlies a lot of chronic disease, including cardiovascular and cancer. And so lowering the level of inflammation in the body is really great for improving the general health. It improves memory, and there were some animal studies showing that it may have the potential to reverse Alzheimer's, and this is one of my go-to herbs for Alzheimer's. I typically would give this one together in conjunction with curcumin. Curcumin is actually the yellow pigment from the turmeric root, and turmeric is a spice used commonly in cooking, of course. It's a common ingredient of curries. And the curcumin, which accounts for the yellow color of the turmeric root, is actually considered the active sort of component of the root. And this is one instance where an extract actually works much better than just the crude root. And curcumin has also been shown to reverse Alzheimer's in animal and some human clinical trials as well now. And what both these do is they act on the there's something that accumulates in the brain in Alzheimer's called beta amyloid, and they actually found that ashwagandha will eliminate beta amyloid from the body, and this in turn will draw beta amyloid out of the brain. And the lab study, the animal studies are quite compelling.